Don't make your business page overly promotional. Hello, boys and girls from the internet. My name is Beard and Marketing, and today I'm going to be talking to you about giving you marketing tips on how you can market your business, right? And you guys will tell me whether this worked for your business or not, whether it makes sense or not. Please feel free to interact with me, agree or disagree politely in the comment section. So let's delve deep into it. So I don't know if you guys have seen these pages on Instagram, TikTok, where the business owner is just being overtly promotional. Like they're just talking about the product that they're selling. If it's shoes, they're always posting shoes. If it's clothing, they're always posting clothing. I don't know what they're selling. If they're selling, for instance, juice, they're always posting juice. And I always wonder to myself whether these people do realize that there's no one very few people actually just want to go to an Instagram page and just look at, for example, shoes. That is not exciting. So business people need to know that this is not a really good strategy. It's not a strategy that lasts long. So what do? You need to understand who the consumer is. And also, you're the first consumer. So what happens when you see an ad on YouTube, for example? The first thing that you do is you skip that ad. Don't think your consumer is doing anything different. Your consumer is doing the exact same thing. So how do you make sure that these things don't happen? You have to make sure that you're releasing content that taps into the soul of your consumer. How do you tap into the soul of your consumer, you may ask? Number one, it's the passion points. Ensuring that you tap into the passion points of your consumer. Let's give an example. We're talking about this person who's on Instagram. They're selling, it's a page, they're selling clothes, right? They're selling clothes and maybe shoes. That would be the example that I would go in with. It's an Instagram page, they're selling clothes and shoes. How do we make this Instagram page selling clothes and shoes to be a page that people might actually want to follow and might actually want to, ensure that they're interacting with their content, ensuring that they are, they're liking the content, they are commenting on the content. How do we do that for this Instagram page, you might ask? So there are a couple of things I would do. Number one, I would understand who is the target audience. Who are we trying to sell these clothes and shoes to? So let's assume, for the benefit of this conversation, we're trying to sell these clothes and shoes to an upper middle class Nairobian, right? Between the ages of 25 to 35. So this person is probably working, and these are just some of those consumer, you can make some guesses about who you think the consumer is. Like you're building a consumer persona. I would say that this person probably works in corporate. That's why they're able to be in the upper middle. Let's say they like to party. They're between 25 and 35. Corporate jobs require a lot from you. Most of these people who are in corporate, they work very hard and they play very hard. So the playing very hard is also a huge passion point. They like to go on travels. They like to, maybe they like food is a very big passion point for them. Maybe on the weekends, they're visiting your Caltivas, for example. They're going to these fancy restaurants. They're eating this good food, So these are different passion points that you can decide to tap into so that you can showcase your brand. So, for instance, travel. I don't know what kind of clothes you're selling. Instead of just showing me that I can, you're showing me that this is a bikini that I can, you can decide to buy. Instead of you just showing me that, how do you show me aspiration? And showing me aspiration is like tapping into some of the passion points that will make me feel like, I want to do that, and I want to do that with this brand. I don't know if that makes sense. So, for instance, you are selling beachwear, right? That beachwear, can you show, like, for instance, somebody enjoying themselves in Diani wearing your beachwear? Obviously, you don't have to say at this is my beachwear. People will put two and two together. So maybe in the caption you can just write the bikini was from the name of your shop. You understand? Maybe you want to sell, for instance, just comfort wear, what like your Home 254 gives you. For instance, Home 254 I think is comfort wear. It's like the kind of clothes you'd want to just sit in the house, snuggle. It's a cold maybe night, you have some uji somewhere. That's the kind of vibes I get, like it's comfort wear. I just want, like, it's a comfortable, and obviously it can tap into an array of other things like travel. When you're traveling, you want to be comfortable. So you'll see a lot of content that is created around Home 254 brand apparel. Is, some people are, they're going for they're traveling, and the choice of clothes that they decide to travel with is Home 254, because there's that comfort that is associated with Home 254. Think about it like they also have, I think, a sportwear line. They will not share that sportwear when they're advertising it. If you go to their page, you'll probably see them somewhere out, like, on a hiking trail or something. So that's how you sell it. You sell it through tapping into the different passion points that your consumer has. Try not to be overtly promotional with your content. That really is something that I would really, really stress. Understand your consumer, understand what the consumer's passion points are. Once you've understood what the consumer passion points are, you can tap into that passion point well. You can even tap into food. You can use food to sell clothes. I've just thought about this right now. Let's go back to that apparel example. Let's say your clothes are very fancy, and I show, for example, this person, because an upper middle class person in Nairobi, like we've said, is going to your high-end restaurants. Going to your Cultiva, Intis, all those restaurants. You all know them. So they're going to those restaurants. So if they're going to those restaurants, we already know that our passion point for them is food. Imagine if you did some content on Instagram showing a very, a very well-dressed, lovely lady going in for dinner somewhere, and then in the caption you just write, got these clothes for here. You used food because you're showing this person enjoying. You're creating aspiration for the consumer. You're showing this person. Eating this food that looks so nice. You're showing this sense of class, and then people are curious. You've created aspiration. People are curious. Hey, what was this person? Where did this person get this dressing from? Because you've sold a lifestyle. You've sold something that the consumer wants. You've sold something that the consumer aspires to, if that makes sense. And once you sell that aspiration, consumers tend to buy. Consumers tend to latch onto your product more in the long run. It's also another thing about this. It's not a short-term strategy for businesses. So if you're a small business, and what you're looking for is mainly a lot of tactical stuff, we're going to get to you. But then for a person who's out there trying to build a brand, and this is how you build brands, you have to think super long term. You have to look at what passion points what passion points does my consumer have, the consumer that I want to target, what passion points do they have, and how do we tap into those passion points. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that has been me. I think I'm going to end this one here. Yep.